One of my favorite things about Minecraft is how modifiable it is. So in this video we are leaving behind the regular monotonous Minecraft life and instead we explore a magical world, brew some potions, perform some pagan rituals and just spend some chill time as a cottage witch. So grab a snack and enjoy. Welcome to a new world. Let's have a quick look around. There's a very cool looking biome up ahead. It already looks very magical. And also, we spawned with some items already. We got some nut butter and jam sandwiches, which is great. We got a knife and then a quest book. I'll have a look at this in a sec. And then whatever this is. I'm pretty sure that I can actually cast spells with it. Now, first things first, even as a witch, we do need some basic tools to get started. So let's punch this tree. And then we can immediately make a crafting table and a set of wooden tools, or at least the most important ones. Let's do a pickaxe and let's also do an axe. And then there is some stone over there in the form of what looks like a statue. Let's check it out. I'm pretty sure it's a horse, although there's not much to it. Does it go down here? No. But there is a chest. Oh, okay, well, I'll take some bones and also some extra food. And what's this? Nugget of experience. What do I do with it? Oh, so it works like the bottles. Okay. And also I can see some smoke in the distance there. Looks like it's a regular village. Might have some useful early game resources for us. In the village, I stole a ton of crops because witches gotta eat too. And then I found all this chalk, which we'll be using in some magic rituals. Then I had a little sushi snack and I was on my way again. Now before I go check out this very cool looking forest over there, we did get a quest book, so let's check that out. Welcome to Cottage Witch. Also, just look at this art. That's the definition of cottagecore. And then here we have all the other quest lines. So just as a welcome into the world, we get a backpack, which is so good. I already desperately need one. And then look at this. I think we get the blueprint for a house as like a welcome gift, which is very cool. I can't wait to check that out. And then so cute, a mushroom hat. Now I'm sorry, but the leather hat is gonna have to go because that fits a cottage witch so much better. I look very cool. And then another thing I get is slime boots and this slime sling. And the way it works, okay, the leather boots are gonna have to go as well. Basically, I can't take fall damage now. It's like jumping on a slime block. Instead, it's always on my feet. So if I say I jump from up here now, I basically just bounce. And then with this sling, I can basically catapult myself upwards. So if I want to go up somewhere, but it's a height that I can't jump, say this, for example, I just point it downwards and then I shoot it. Oh my goodness. I expected it to catapult me, but it was a little higher than I thought it would be. This is so cool. Look at me bouncing. Very, very cool. Last but not least, I got some stuff, including coffee as a reward for some achievement. If there's one thing you need to know about me is that I love me some coffee. So having a coffee here in Minecraft is so cool. I'd love to drink it, but I think I'm gonna keep it for now. Now, next, I do want to find a place... Oh, hi there, chicken. You look very cute. Next, I want to find a place to settle down. And I actually already have a biome in mind for that, because that's gonna fit the vibes and colors of the house that I've planned. Basically, what I want my base to be is cottagecore and cozy, because the modpack isn't called the swampy witch or the scary witch. It's called cottage witch. So I'm gonna listen to that, and I'm gonna be a cottagecore witch. So I'm gonna build myself a little cottage in the woods, and it's gonna be a special and modded type of woods with some very cool cozy colors. But I don't know how rare that biome actually is, so in order to find it, I wanna make a compass, and it's gonna be a special kind of compass which can basically show me to any biome I wanna find. So that means I'm gonna need some iron. So I think it's time to upgrade to stone tools and go caving. Maybe we can find a water cave. So let's jump in right here. Well, there's coal here for one, I'll take it. Oh wait, there's some iron as well. Okay, so we have one piece of iron. Let's see if we can find more. And then we'll also need redstone. Oh, nice, here we go. Look at the levels I already have. I'm at 30. I swear I'm not cheating. I have no idea how I got that many levels. I think from all of the beginner quests that I've completed. So I made it into a normal cave and I'm not very well prepared. So this might have been a very dumb idea. There's redstone though. Wait, that's not redstone. It is? Well, I'm so confused. Do I have to grind it first? Let's try and grind whatever we just got on a grindstone, and then let's just hope that it'll give us redstone. I'll just right click it. Oh yes, there we go. Redstone. Now time to make that compass. So I think it's redstone in the middle and then iron around it. Yes. And now to make this into a nature's compass, we just need logs and saplings of the same wood type. No? What? Oh, that would have been so much easier. Because I'm a witch, I don't need a compass in the middle. I need a dowsing rod. And I think that's actually very easy to make. I just need leaves and sticks. Wow, thank you. All of this was in vain. It's fine. So actually what we need is some shears and then a leaf. And then it was leaf here and the sticks around it. And then we have a dowsing rod. And I think usually that's used to find swamps and jungles, because that's where a lot of the witchy stuff is located. And then I think the way it usually works is you just turn, and then when the leaves on the rod turn green, that's the right direction to go for the closest swamp. And then in all the other directions the leaves should be brown. Yes. But we don't actually need to find a swamp, so let's make this into a nature's compass. The biome that I'm looking for is called a temperate grove because it has very pretty colors, you'll see in a minute. So let's go ahead and look for that. We just have to put the name in here and then we click on the biome that we want and then we start the search. And then in the top right, it gives us the distance. It's actually 3,500 blocks. That's quite a ways to go, but it's fine. And then we just follow the compass like we usually would. So this is the direction we have to go in. And if on the way we find any cool looking structures like whatever this is, we are gonna check them out, of course. Got some more wheat, some more emeralds. Also moss. I'm so glad I just found this because moss is gonna be a very important part of my build. And we also have a waystone. That means we can basically teleport now. Well, as long as we find another one. And now let's check out the bouncy boots from this height. Woo! Look how high we're bouncing. That is so cool. And it looks like here we have the second waystone that we need to travel. So let's take this with us as well. And our first diamond. But now let's go. I really do want to get my base built. And it looks like we are about to reach our destination. That's the temperate grove over there. And maybe you can already tell what I mean by how it's a cottage core biome with the colors, with that warm yellow and green of the trees. And also, I think it's time we finally use the slingshot because that looks like a very annoying mountain to get on top of. I think I'm very happy with the choice of basing in this biome. Yeah, look at this. That's the definition of cottage core for me, especially with the sunflowers. Look at this, it's a tiny jumping spider. Usually I hate spiders, but I have to say this is kind of cute. Meet the jumping spider. I can tame it with dragonfly wings and it'll protect me. And I also get some dragonfly wings right here. Yeah, I've made a spider friend. Remember how I said earlier that one thing you need to know about me is that I love coffee? The second thing you need to know about me is that I hate spiders. I mean, who doesn't, right? But this one? Look at it, it's kind of cute. I think I found a pretty good open space right here. So let's place down my bed. And then it's time to finally make some chests and sort out our storage because that's getting wild. And then we do have this. I'm relatively sure that it's basically a pre-built house. It's not gonna be my main base. I want to build that myself, but that doesn't mean that we can't make it into a cool little starter base. Let's see how this works. So there's different kinds of houses, and I think I like this. Looks like it's gonna be a giant mushroom, which is kind of cool for a cottagecore witch house. Let's just do it. Okay. It does look very cool. Also, for some reason, some of the sides here have been shaved off. But we can always change that once we have select touch and can grab some more mushroom blocks. Let's have a look. We have a little field here with water sources, which is pretty cool. And then in here, there's a lot of storage. A furnace, a smoker. What's this? There's just a mine. There's an entire mine included. I don't need to dig down if I ever need a strip mine. That's so cool. And then there's more than one floor. We have a little bedroom here with a little balcony, a very little balcony. And then there's yet another floor, which is empty, but looks very magical with some mushrooms here and glow lichen. So let's see about some of the magical plants that we already have. I think it's just this. We'll just put the sage seeds right here. And with that, we have started our little witch garden. Now, the two main things we want to do next is build an actual house for ourselves that we can live in and also get started on some more witchcraft. And a very good place to start with more witchcraft is a book that we can make. It's called the Book of Shadows, which gives us lots of information about everything that we can do with magic. To craft that, I'm gonna need this. Most of it's very easy to get, or we already have it. The one thing that I don't have yet is animal fat, and we get that as a reward for making a mixing cauldron. Now for the cauldron, I think we're gonna go out and see if we can find one that we can steal just to save some iron. And we can either find one in a village or in a coven, because yes, there's covens in this mod pack. And then we might as well go in the direction of a swamp and see what we can maybe find there. Oh wait, I think it's just over the river. Yeah, that looks like a swamp. Let's have a look. Oh, I think this is one of the witch herbs. And there's mandrake. That's another one. I think I'm still missing one of the witch plants though. Let's have a look at our quests. There's mandrake. We can plant that. We have it. And mugwort as well. And belladonna as well. So we're still missing yellow dog. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Now we have all the magical plants. And we can just replant them at home. Alright, so I've checked the entire swamp out and there are no structures. Unfortunately, no coven for us. Guys, I'm on my way home and look what I found. There is a coven after all. So apparently they don't just spawn in swamps, which is great. And even though my inventory is extremely full, let's check it out. Already I want to steal everything. Let's grab these candelabras. Okay, it's very dark in here. Oh, these are altars. I think I'm gonna need that later on, so I'll just grab it. Oh yes, we have a mixing cauldron. That's what I was hoping for. Perfect. And an herb jar. That's pretty cool. And what's this? A blood sigil. Pretty sure I'm gonna need that. And then one more thing I want to do while I'm here is steal all the moss of this roof, because I'm gonna need some moss for my own roof. That would make me a thief, and some people would probably say that it's not very cottagecore, but I feel like that's kind of discriminatory. Cottagecore witches can be evil. Okay, say it with me. Cottagecore witches can be evil. I, for one, am both. So I have 4 stacks of moss now, and I also completely dismantled this house, and I don't feel bad about it. Not even a little bit. So I guess it's time to finally go home now. My inventory is so full and my backpack is so heavy, my shoulders hurt. Home sweet home. Now, I'd say it's time I finally made myself that house I want to live in. I have all the building blocks down except one. I want to build with a certain mushroom that's added to the game by a mod. It's not a vanilla mushroom, and I don't really want to go look for it right now because I think it's very, very rare. But there is another way of getting that, which is kind of, it's magic. Not exactly my main branch of magic, but I can do it. So let's do it. And it also fits the whole cottagecore nature vibe because it's called a fairy ring. It's like mushroom magic. I'll show you how it works. First we need potzel, which I bought off a wandering trader, so we don't have to plant any giant spruce. Now we need mushrooms, and we need to make a circle of 8. I'm standing in my very own fairy ring. Doesn't it look cool? I think it does. Anyway, now I have to throw some things in, and then it works like ritual circle magic, and depending on what I throw in, it gives me something. So basically I want a mushroom, so I throw in a mushroom. Oh cute, I can still see it. Then it's gonna be orange, so we need some orange dye. It's called a honey fungus, so we also need some honey. We need a comb, and then there's these honey bottles. I stole those from a beekeeper villager and it's doing something. Ta-da! There we go. This is the mushroom that I needed. The honey fungus. And it gives me this very warm, yellowy, orange color that I want to build my walls with. Let's grow that. Okay, that's actually a ginormous mushroom. It's huge. Anyway, this stem is what I'm talking about. And I think I need to strip it. Yes, that's the color I wanted. And I think that with this mod, I don't need Silk Touch to break the stem blocks. No, I get it. Okay. And if I break the blocks, it sometimes gives me the small mushroom, so I don't have to make the ritual again. That's good. And then for the pillars, I want some modded blocks as well. And if you think, wait, flowering azalea, that's not modded, wait for it. If I grow this unfortunately just gave me one of the blocks I'm looking for, but there's this flowering azalea logs. And if I chop, it's gonna look like this. Now let's just get the area here ready for building. And I think I'm ready to bring the house up. For the pillars, I'm gonna take this flowering azalea wood and go up 3 for now. And then we'll fill the walls in with planks and stripped blocks of the fungus stem blocks. Now the body of the house is down, it's time for the roof. I'm gonna do spruce for a trim. Then at first we'll just go up with stairs before we go in with full blocks. Stairs and a full block and stairs. And then one last full block. And then this is what the roof will look like. And now that all the trims are in, we just need to fill it with moss and the willow wood. And now for the top of the roof, I want it to curve somewhat like this. Like go down in the middle, because I think that looks very whimsical and witchy. I'm gonna start by adding a curl here to the end. And then it'll look like this from the side. And then I think at this height, we'll go in 2. And then we'll go 1 lower. And then we just fill this in. And ta-da! This is what it looks like. I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to fill the walls in, but I do love the roof shape. It very much looks like a witch house if you ask me. But I want this to be very overgrown. So I'm gonna add lots of plants to up here. I brought some flowers. I think mostly I want this to be a mix of red and yellow. But most importantly, I want there to be mushrooms on the roof. And since I can't put actual mushrooms on moss, I found a different solution. One of the mods in this mod pack gives me some very cute mushroom decoration that looks extremely realistic. And for that, I just need a furniture station. And then I just have to put some base material in. And the base material that I need is clay planks and cobblestone. I don't have any clay, so let's go find a river and collect some clay and stone. So now if we put all of that in here, it gives us all of this. And these are the mushrooms that I was talking about, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna need a lot of them. Honestly, let's do a whole stack. Oh yes, I think I love that. And do you know what's even better? Something I can actually do with vanilla mushrooms. And of course it starts to rain, but look at this. I can put them up vertically against the blocks and that looks so cool. I can do the same thing with the brown ones, I think. Yes. Oh, I love this. Now for the door and window trims, I'm gonna use this mahogany wood because A, the color fits these azalea logs, and B, I think the color is just very witchy, if you know what I mean. So we'll do slabs and trapdoors, the usual, and then fences coming down like that. And then we do need a window up here. And then for the sides we have these actual shutters. And I think this looks so cool. For the interior, there's some special blocks that we can use. For decoration, obviously there's a lot coming from the mods, including from this one. But even just for the floor, I think that I can make vertical planks. Yes, I can. Okay. And then I can do these in a pattern. And I think that looks so cool, so let's finish the rest just like that. This here is gonna be the bedroom. And then here we'll just have a table with one of these candelabras on top that we stole in the coven. Let's light it up. And then there's also these wind chimes. And I think they actually make it so that phantoms can't spawn. And so I thought that fit into the bedroom very well. Kind of like a dream catcher. I think in this corner I'm gonna want a kitchen. There's this really cool sink. Then I have these drawers and this very cool looking stove. This one reminds me of a witch as well. It looks very, very cool, especially with the little kettle on top. And speaking of kettle, I have a bigger one right here. And then in this corner, I want a living rooms. Let's start with this cabinet here in the corner. And then here we can have a sitting area. Let's put some carpet in front of our bed. Maybe some here. We could put a sort of patio back here. I have a ton of these lattices like this. And then obviously we gotta put some flowers on these lattices. I'm just gonna scatter some roses. Anyway, these two I'm gonna take out again because I have this very cool ladder here with these pots. And I think that's a very cozy corner. Good morning! I just had a very refreshing first sleep in my new home. And I think it's time to enjoy a coffee on my patio. So let's hop on my little sofa and let's have a morning coffee. And I feel so good. Isn't this just a lovely start to the day? And I think that coffee actually gave me some effect. Caffeinated. Okay, well, I don't know what that means. Is it, oh, I think I'm very fast. Cool, very cool. Oh, and there's one more very important thing that I can't forget about. Look what I found. One of the mods gives me this insanely cute bicycle. I mean, I'm a witch and eventually I think my preferred method of transport is gonna be a broom, but until then, oh, look at it. So cute. Until then, I'm definitely using this bike. I mean, I can't really use it, but you know, let's just pretend I can. Let's get started on a path here. And then for some extra light sources, let's just gather a couple jack-o'-lanterns around. And then with that, I think we're done for today. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to subscribe because next time I will be back and we'll get started on some magic here. I will see you then. Bye!